What's up guys, Moonman here, and I'm outside this inconspicuous random Save-A-Lot store in Murphy, North Carolina. I debated whether I wanted to make this video or not, but I had to come film something else out in Murphy, so I was like, you know what? I'm a fan of true crime, and I know some of my fans, or some of my followers I guess, are also fans of true crime, so I decided we're gonna come out here and make a video about this. The reason why I'm here is back in 2003, 21 years ago at the time of filming this Save-A-Lot store played a minor role in the capture of one of the FBI's most wanted criminals, Eric Rudolph. Now, Eric Rudolph, he had bombed 4 things. He was a serial bomber. He was bombing things in Georgia and Alabama, and he did 3. Nobody knew who it was. This was at the time, obviously, you got to understand, before there was cameras everywhere. This was in 1996. He was doing these bombs from 96 to 98. Then he did the big one. His big one was he bombed, and what you guys are probably going to know him better as the Centennial Olympic Park bomber, the 1996 Olympics in Atlanta. Now, the places he would bomb were not just random. He actually selected them for reasons. He wanted to stop socialism in America, global socialism. And also he wanted to stop what he called abortion on demand. So he would bomb abortion clinics. He bombed 2 of those, including one in Birmingham, Alabama that killed an off-duty cop. He bombed a lesbian nightclub. And of course, he bombed, and that nightclub was in Atlanta, he bombed the 96 Olympics. Now, Richard Jewell often gets blamed for that, but he'd been cleared completely from it. Richard Jewell is the man. He had set up, when Eric Rudolph set up his bomb in the backpack, you know, it had nails. He used nails as shrapnel with all these pipe bombs. Richard Jewell actually found the backpack, and he alerted authorities to it, and they had moved it. And because of it being kind of moved and in a different spot, it didn't do as much damage. Now, it did injure over 100 people. It did kill a person. So 2 people died from the hands of Eric Rudolph. He was just a serial bomber. He was just a crazy guy. So what eventually happened is they figured out he was the guy doing these bombings. He got put on the FBI's 10 most wanted list, and he ran away. His family was originally from Florida, but they moved up here to Cherokee County here in and around Murphy, North Carolina. He grew up here. He knew the Nantahala National Forest, and he went on the run. And for 5 years, from 98 to 2003, he was not seen. There was sightings. People made claims, but they never could catch him. The FBI looked for him. The local law looked for him. The state law looked for him. They could not find Eric Robert Rudolph. On top of that, he was he was like big into survivalism. He was a known survivalist. People say he could last forever out here. You can find old like news reports and old like interviews and stuff with people, and you know that he knew how to traverse this area because he grew up in it, and he stayed on the run for quite some time. And people believe maybe he wasn't even alive. Maybe he went in the woods and did the thing, and he was completely gone. But that was not the case. And if he was alive, some people believed at first his family would have been taking care of him, that they were passing him stuff. They lived in the area. And so they were put under watch, and his brother, in retaliation of this, he was kind of crazy too. He cut off his own hand and sent a video of it to the FBI. But it did get reattached, so he still has it. And their family ended up, with all going on, they moved to Florida, back home to Florida. Irony in it too, partially, is that he would bomb gay things, and he was very anti-gay, but his brother, who had moved to New York, was a gay man, and he actually went up there the summer before he got arrested and spent time with him and his lover. So, like I said, he's just a crazy guy. Then comes May 31st, 2003. Some of you might remember this day. It was all over the news. An officer by the name of J.S. Postel gets a call at 4 a.m. that there's someone going through the dumpster at Save-A-Lot. They thought it was a burglar, maybe someone, some vagrant, somebody trying to steal something, maybe trying to vandalize something. So he went to go check it out. When he got there, he found a man digging through the dumpster. He was kind of skinny, but he was kind of well shaven. He had a beard and mustache that was very well kept. It was, pretty good. And the guy gave him a false name. Well, he had to take him in. So he took him in. Took him into jail, took him into custody. Another officer said he looked kind of familiar. And from what I understand, there's varying stories, but what I understand is they had showed him something about, they had kind of got to catch on a little bit. They saw something about the FBI's 10 most wanted, and they asked him, "Who are you?" And he said, "Well, you're about to be famous." He told him, "I am Eric Robert Rudolph." You know, he's the Olympic bomber. It breaks news. It's the biggest story. You know, Olympic bomber, guy who's serial bomber, who wants to, you know, has all these radical ideas and all this. He is caught. But why is he clean shaven? You can't be clean shaven out in the Nantahala National Forest, not by yourself. So because he was not being helped by his family, most likely, people believe it was a white supremacist group. He had a little bit of ties with them, but he says he's not one, but he also says a lot of weird stuff. So a lot of people believe that like the Ku Klux Klan were helping him out, or other supremacist groups. The most likely of all these is that local people were helping, and there's many people who believe that he was actually doing good. There's a lot of people who do believe that. There's a lot of crazies out there, remember this, that he was doing good. So they believe that might have been how he got help, but he said he didn't have any help. He said how he would get food in there is he would have all these silos on the ground. He'd fill them with food. He'd go steal from local grain mills, go steal from gardens. He'd come into town maybe to, you know, go through the dumpster like that. He knew all about it, and he would forage stuff in the forest too. So he'd do all that stuff to get food and drink and whatever. And upon being captured, he did, in a plea deal to avoid the death penalty, he actually told the police, "I stored 250 pounds of dynamite in these woods." And he told them where it was. And one set was just right above a National Guard armory. He had planned to do it. They think that the pressure that they kept on him, because they let the FBI and everybody was looking for him, but they let the actual city, the local police do a lot of the interrogation and stuff on him, because they believed it calmed him down. He would say more. But they believe that the pressure they put on him is why he did not bomb more. And it was not because he was just on the run. That he knew there was pressure and they were looking for him. They were flying helicopters out here, you know, all in the tri-state area. They were trying to find him. But alas, he is in prison for the rest of his life, and they did find the dynamite and it was destroyed. But here at the Save-A-Lot is where J.S. Postel arrested him at. And like I said, he was going through the dumpster. So I think we should go take a look at said dumpster. So here in the back of the Save-A-Lot, the same Save-A-Lot, not the same dumpster, is where J.S. Postel pulled up at 4 a.m. and he saw Eric Robert Rudolph right through here. A man who said he had no regrets about the crimes he committed, probably would have committed more. One of the most notorious from the late 90s, early 2000s criminals that there was, FBI's 10 most wanted. He was captured right here in the small town Murphy, North Carolina, unassumingly. After a 5-year manhunt, they find the man looking through a dumpster. Like, subscribe, and share. Move Man, he's out.